So speaking of Marvel, speaking of Disney, there's a civil war going. Thank you. There's a civil war going on right now at Disney, in which the fans of Avatar are certainly roasting the stands of, I guess not fans, stands, the stands of Spider-Man No Way Home. So I guess Marvel fans in general. And the thing that I thought first when I saw this is, look, I know what we do, but it's just like, imagine like so much of your identity being tied to like a multi-millionaire's property that's owned by a corporation worth billions of dollars.
Why are we playing team sports with two mega corporations?
Well, it's the same thing when people argue about Apple and Samsung. They're like, oh my God, your phone is...
Actually, really, since this is a Disney film, like, you're playing fake team sports with something that is the same team.
Yeah.
But you don't even realize you're the one that's getting played.
It's kind of like when WWE has like this thing where they do a brand split where like SmackDown is one brand and Raw is one brand and they're different. I'm like, not really. It's all
They're on
owned
different
by
days
Vince
of the week.
McMahon.
Yeah.
It's like, and they never stick to the rules where like Raw stars will go over and do stuff on SmackDown. That's what people hated about it the most, is they never actually stuck to the rules of what it was supposed to be. Like, it was a cool idea in concept, but if you don't actually abide by your own rules, it doesn't actually work. Like, if you keep breaking them so that people can make appearances elsewhere, what's the point of it? So it's like this guy who's like, I prefer Marvel and I love Spider-Man No Way Home, and Disney's like, yeah, you tell that Avatar fan how much you love Spider-Man No Way Home. He's the enemy over there.
They're watching two crabs fight.
they're like counting their money as they're doing this. So this is all being said because Avatar: The Way of Water has become the 6th highest grossing film of all time. I have eaten my words sufficiently on this. It's not a psyop. Everyone apparently loves it, even though no one is talking about it except for us right now.
Yeah.
6th in like record time. Record time.
I heard literally one person talk about Avatar outside of...
Who? Like...
out in the real world. It was one kid that I came across at a movie theater who said to their mom, like, I didn't want to miss Avatar, so I didn't take a bathroom break. Like, that was it. I haven't heard anyone outside in the real world talking about Avatar. I haven't seen any memes about Avatar. I haven't seen any Avatar TikToks. That's really how you gauge the cultural success of something,
Apparently
right?
not.
If it's going to stick in people's memory for longer than a month after they watched it.
This is exactly what happened with Avatar.
Exactly, yes. And then it was still remembered fondly for some reason. And I was like thinking...
Was it really?
I don't think
No, it was.
I mean,
before the sequel came out, people were like, I loved the first one.
I've never heard somebody say that.
They did in all of our comment sections.
Yeah, like,
I know you saw in
we got messages
other
about
people's videos about the sequel. They were saying like, we loved the first one. I believe you. You loved the first one, but I also think that you loved living in 2009, and I loved living in 2009 a little bit more than I love living in 2023.
Yeah. I'll take
Like,
2009
it's
over
about the
2023.
spirit of the moment.
Yes.
When you watched the movie, how did you feel in your life when you watched the first Avatar? Probably felt like we were on a better trajectory. Maybe. I mean, the economy was down, but
I'd rather be
spirits
the
were a
me
little
I am
higher.
now.
I heard that there was going to be hope and change.
There was hope. There was change. No,
Okay, I only said that because somebody in the comments mentioned politics. All right, so here's the comments. So discussing film, who I really enjoy discussing film on Twitter because like they were giving me the updates on Rebel Moon. Like I was reading the updates on Rebel Moon earlier. They have all of the new images from Scream 6 and all the things that are coming out. They're talking about it here. So here's a bunch of comments. Somebody says, I hope Avatar 3 flops. And then Steel Robot here, he's got the Ukraine flag and a mouse.
Amazing.
Says, of course we knew this was going to be a huge success, but will the same apply for 3, 4, and 5? That's actually a fair question, right? Especially depending on how far apart this is. Like if there's no 9-year waiting limit, Mary isn't
my
like
great-grandchildren are going to be watching Avatar 5.
By that time, that's absolutely true. So then here somebody says, who watched this? Nobody cares about this 13-year-old sequel. It was good, but not good enough to surpass Spider-Man No Way Home. There was so much buzz around Spider-Man No Way Home. There was so many memes. There was so many Instagrams. There was so much TikTok. There was so much organic interest. Okay, you think it was...
No, I think they stoked that a lot. I think a lot of the people are talking about this. They got people talking about it, but they pushed.
People are talking about people talking about this.
Well, it reminds me of when they did the
Yes.
inorganic ad campaign for Fast 9, when they did all the family memes that were really, really astroturfed and fake, where it's like Vin Diesel fighting Harry Potter with the power of family. And I was like, that's not funny. It's not fun.
But it was
Corporate memes.
Corporate
yeah,
meme.
like the whole Andrew Garfield that was a inside job. Go have him do these things.
I'm not going to be in the movie. Although it is really funny now watching people pretend to care about the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Like they're pretending like they love the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies when objectively
I think it's fair to say that people didn't like the movies but loved that Spider-Man.
Okay, I don't know about that. I don't even know if I believe that. Like literally
I love that Spider-Man.
No one loved that Spider-Man but you.
No. I love him as
No, that's what I'm saying.
Spider-Man.
Nobody loves.
I do.
I can't believe that. That's all I remember hearing was. Okay, that's not true. Okay, you might be right, but the other point is they point out a lot that they all got too crowded. There were so many villains in both of them, just like there was in in Maguire's third Spider-Man movie, right? But it feels astroturfed, all of this stuff, and this is after James Cameron fans, because James Cameron has his own stance.
Does he have stands? Because I haven't interacted with a single one.
Most of them are in their mid-40s.
This is a couple. This is a real thing. Apparently there are people like this in the world,
and they are at war.
And they're at war
on the internet.
So here's Top Gun Maverick getting beaten by James Cameron in the memes, which to be fair, they're not great meme makers, but that's fine. So they're in their
40s, as you said. So.
Well, are they?
Maybe
are they all in their 40s? There's no way they can all be in their 40s for the movie to make $1.9 billion.
If you are a money man, I would say it's okay to be a James Cameron stan because, he's got 3 of the top 5.
Yeah.
So don't doubt him.
What are they? It's Titanic, this, and then both Avatars.
Yeah. But everything he's made has been a financial success.
He doesn't. Yeah.
And he has a huge ego
Titanic,
about that.
Yeah.
Or did you say?
No,
Titanic?
I said Titanic. Okay. I said Titanic, and then these. I was Terminator, not Terminator. Terminator made money, but not that much.
Terminator 2 made money.
Yeah. So it's really interesting that you see all this stuff, and you're like, it doesn't feel real. This feels more real to me than the movie succeeding.
Actually, yes.
People fighting about the movie succeeding feels more real than the movie actually succeeding. And I like the movie. For the most part, I like the movie, other than it being too long.
Did you like No Way Home or Avatar 2 better?
No Way Home, probably.
It's a genuinely better movie.
No, I think Avatar 2 is probably a genuinely better movie, but No Way Home is more fun.
Taste.
It's just was more fun. And even then, it's all that roller coaster cinema. Yeah. It's the Scorsese thing. It's not really a movie. It's just a theme park.
I just love that they're celebrating Disney making more money.
Yeah,
I'll never be that person.
No, and nobody should. Right?
I mean, I don't care either way. Disney is going to make money or not make money. I care about the quality of the content, but I don't know. Why do you care?
I don't root for corporations, but I root for actors and directors. I think.
Sure, that makes sense.
There's this one here where it's Avatar 2 going door to door with its.
It's the Grim Reaper of the box office.
They should have put James Cameron's head on top of it, not Avatar 2, as it passes Top Gun Maverick, Avengers, Lion King. It's really funny that Jurassic World is the one right below Spider-Man No Way Home, because it's just that's another one. It's not a psyop, but who the hell is talking about that either?
No.
Nobody. I actually had fun at Dominion knowing that it was stupid. Mm-hmm. I know that you were not a fan, and but it's nobody's talking about that either. So how do these movies make it to these places when nobody's when it's not remembered fondly?
And people are so afraid to go to the movie theater because they're afraid of getting COVID.
They're just so scared of being.
I was surprised to see these comments that James Cameron made to The Wrap recently. Seemingly dissing Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
Here's what he said. People forget to put beauty into a film. There's a lot of snark, a lot of sarcasm, a lot of cutesy jokes in movies. Yep. There's a lot of people playing things off as if they're super cool and therefore diluting the sense of stakes, the sense of jeopardy.
He's right.
I go straight at just being earnest. If there's jeopardy, it's real. People could die. Yeah. And if you like what you see, let's just hang out for a bit. Let's not rush through this because of artificial concepts like plot. It sounds dumb, but it works.
He's right about all of that.
I mean, as for Avatar 2's length, it definitely could have been cut down a little bit, but I understand his desire to linger on a moment, especially visually.
It's one of the things, it's my number one complaint for Velma, right? It's that there isn't an ounce of earnestness. There's not an ounce of sincerity in the whole thing, right? Yep. There's never a moment in which they take the risk of putting yourself out there emotionally in any real sense. And it's why it's funny. I do like Spider-Man No Way Home more, but it's more because of the scale of the movies. I'm more inclined to like a movie that's more fun at that scale. It's also a little bit shorter and stuff like that. But if I had to choose between Marvel cringe humor and earnest filmmaking with characters that have actual sincerity, I will take that any day of the week.
I blame, honestly, Twitter more for this than I do movies, because people became so afraid that their earnestness would be made fun of online, that everything had to be a joke. And so, like, do you remember the moment, like, for you, when you realized, oh shit, it's not, sorry.
Too late.
It's okay.
Oh no.
We're past 15 seconds into the segment.
Good heavens. That not one or two brands on Twitter are funny, but they're all funny. And you're like, this is bad.
It's just like, and plus it's I think that comes with like the notion that you can't discern tone. So best to not risk it and be sarcastic because it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah. Against... and I don't know if it's, the Gen Z thing is probably a result of this, to where anything earnest is cringe. Like, oh, you mean that? Oh, yeah. But I think that started with us, honestly.
Probably.
Self-deprecating humor was definitely
no, not self-deprecating. No, I'm saying like, ooh, that person has real feeling.
Mean girl humor.
Yeah, I mean, making fun of your own feelings, being self-deprecating, like that is.
No, other people.
Other people. It's
other people's like, oh, this movie is serious. That's cringe. It's like unless it's that sardonic. Like, I'm dead inside.
Which means like dead inside equals deep.
Dead inside, no, it equals cool in my opinion. You're like, oh.
I think both. I think they think of it as cool, but I think that they think that somehow being pessimistic and sardonic somehow means you understand the world better than somebody who's not. They don't, and I hate that. Like,
because the world is ending anyway. The sea levels are rising.
I heard that 2070 now. They're saying 2070. That's like a good amount of time. They're like, not so close, but not so far away. Like, we'll
you care just the right amount for us to control your consumer habits.
Yes.
Look, it's for me, it's just like, and that stuff bothers me. And that's why I liked Avatar as much as I did, is if it had any of that sardonic humor, that 3-hour time length was going to get way more difficult to stomach.
Well, some people would say like James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy has some of that earnestness in it. But then I saw other people saying like because of James Cameron's emphasis on earnestness in films and not being like cute about it. He should be the type of director working on superhero or comic book type of movie adaptations, not people like Taika Waititi or James Gunn.
Well, I mean, those are like the extremes in either direction. Maybe we can find somewhere closer to
why
the middle.
Is the pinnacle of cinema who's making a superhero movie? like, why is like, oh, well, this should be the guy making the superhero movies. It's like, let them make one and then let them make whatever they want. Like Thor 2 is an abomination, or Thor 4 is an abomination. Thor 2 is actually not that bad. Thor 4, horrible. But I like Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. Let him make that.
If you want, in my opinion, the pinnacle of superhero cinema, it's the Dark Knight trilogy, meaning that it was not sardonic about the human condition. No. It's actually fairly optimistic about the human condition while having the same bleak tone. Look, there's corruption, there's criminality, there's villainy, but there's also the desire to get to a place at the end of the movie where there's a positive message. And they do that essentially through, though I still, like, my favorite moment is like at the end of, like, when he gets basically cock blocked by what's her name at the end of the first one, when she's like, "This is your mask," and he's like, "Oh, that was my favorite part of that
Rachel."
one. But, Rachel. Like, it's like that. But at the end of the second one, it's very, very positive about the human condition because the idea here is that the humans decided not to kill the criminals and the criminals decided to not kill the good guys. That is an optimistic message while still having an extremely bleak tone throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, that's very well said.
like
I think the opposite side of that coin, too, is the Guardians of the Galaxy, where it is very silly and warm, but it has real stakes, real emotion. The people care about each other. They come together at the end. It's like, oh, crap, we actually care about it. We're all these people. We're all those characters that are sardonic and don't care about anybody, but oh, crap, we care about each other.
The idea is that by the end of the movie, they should care about each other. You should not end the movie feeling the same way about the people that you just went through some life-changing experience with.
Yes.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't be like that.
Unless you're really cool.
You know a lot more about the world than, like, you know as much about the world as, like, some cheesy Hollywood writer who lives in Beverly Hills, so you don't need to care about people. But that's also, like, maybe the idea is that back in the day, writers, before they got into Hollywood, lived actual lives and didn't just come through the
conveyor belt of it.
They didn't come through the Hollywood pipeline of Ivy League universities or major colleges, Juilliard and onward, where they don't actually experience the real world or real struggle or hardship before they get there. Even the actors that have to struggle to get places should understand more about, like, look, if you had to wait tables for 10 years before you got your big break, you have a better understanding about what it means to struggle.
This is also why
James
we have
Cameron was a truck driver, wasn't he?
Yeah, this is also why we have so many movies that are the exact same. It's not Joseph Campbell. It's because they all went to the same universities and watched the same AFI's Top 100 and read the same books to learn how to make movies. And then they're like, well, this is how you do it. Like, you know, like the Lion King directors, like there's a very interesting story, I'm not going to go into it, about how they came to make the Lion King and how they put their own experiences into an already established story that made that a richer story than rather what it is, which is a Hamlet remake.
You don't. Oh, you're not going to go into detail
it's
about it.
fine.
Okay, all right.
No, just like they lived other lives, had other jobs. We're like, oh, I did this for a while, I did that for a while. But in the back of my mind, I always wanted to be a director, or I was in this. I worked in this small theater. None of these people do this really.
Yeah,
they're all, even if they're in small time stuff, it's in that atmosphere of like, oh, we know. It's about who you know, right?
Yeah.
Like, we know the same people. We worked at the same small theater, and they watch the same movies, and they read the same books. And so that's just what they regurgitate with comic book characters mostly now.
Yep. So in conclusion, do not stand for billion-dollar companies that are all morally bankrupt.
That includes sports teams.
Actually, like, I think,
except for the Green Bay Packers.
No, look. Being a rabid sports fan was a vibe. That, like, it was the '90s. It was all of American history, right? Look, like, all of, like, what's going on right now in politics and everything is all sublimated through what used to be sports teams. I still, like, I don't have a Facebook anymore, but, like, I see, like, my dad or my brother and they're talking about sports, and I'm like, I love it. Like, they're arguing with their friends on Facebook or Twitter or something about sports teams, and you know what? Good. Do that. Like, it's
players, yes. Teams, no. Like, Robert Kraft doesn't care about you.
Well, no, you're saying players, yes, teams, no. Like, look, I wear hats from Minnesota teams because I'm from Minnesota. Not
I understand that. But it's like, just making the point that these are also corporations.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Also, I just read somewhere that apparently the NBA and the NFL are both technically qualified as, like, entertainment companies, so they could fix games if they wanted to.
Yep, they could.
Like, I don't know if that's...
NBA is very, very elbow rubby with China.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, remember who's the NBA team owner who's like, nobody cares about the Uyghur Muslims. Yeah. The NBA sucks. Like, but that's like, those sports gave way. Did you see the thing about the hockey player the other day who wouldn't wear the jersey with the pride flag on it? It's a thing. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.